as we get ready for our practice. Let's start with a little stretching. Let's bring the arms overhead, interlace the fingers, pointer fingers pointing over the top of your head as we check in with the breath. Each time you inhale, you stretch a little bit. Now, today's class is a yin class, female, the cool, the moon. It's a surrender class. A lot of poses we're going to be in for a little longer than we normally do. So get a mentality of a little more relaxation. You don't have to go for this big stretch. Just as you inhale, though, make sure you're breathing deeply. Just work your way into a nice stretch. So people have asked me over the months, will you do a restorative class? This one has maybe 75% of yin poses, where we'll stay in the pose longer than we normally do, working the meridians of the body, opening up the body. The restorative is what that is. Give me just a couple more inhales as you stretch with this particular way the body's lying. When you're ready, you can bend the knees. And as you inhale, lift the butt up off the mat. You can stretch at the same time as well, arch pose. So the butt lifts and the stretch continues. So Sarah, you can interlace your fingers. And just try to play here for 7 or 8 stretches as you find arch pose. So this would be a compound move where we get more than one thing going. A little arch in the back and a stretch in that upper back. And let's do 2 more. When you're ready, you can bring the arms out like wings. Let's do some moving spinal twists. As you exhale, lower both knees to either side of the mat. Turn your head the opposite direction. As you inhale, the knees come back to center. And then exhale, lower the knees the other way. Head turns the opposite direction. As we move into some moving spinal twists, stimulating the thyroid, parathyroid gland of the throat, oxygenating some lymph nodes of the neck. And make sure you're breathing nice and deep. And we'll do a few more. As you're doing these last few, you can be visualizing finding half happy baby. Half happy baby. Whenever you're ready, see if you can move your way into half happy baby. And if you remember, you grab the outside of your foot of selection, just one foot. The other leg is straight on the mat, so you can stretch out the groin and the hip. And you can tick-tock that foot side to side, front to back. You're breathing in and out through the nose. You can even piston that foot up and down as you pull the knee down toward the mat. And of course, the breath continues. So you can straighten that left leg, Debbie. So we're glad to have Debbie back. She had to go to work, right, after the summer. And she's in the educational system. But she's off today, and we've missed her. Let's find half happy baby on the other foot. Grab the outside of the foot, bottom of the foot faces the heavens. And go ahead and bring your awareness to that area. So we talked about the chakras, the energy centers of the spine. Spinning vortex of the entire intelligence of the universe. And I like to tell practitioners, when you're doing your yoga, and we read that to you last week, whether you're conscious of it or not, your body healing is taking place. Give me a few more breaths. When you're ready, release out. Let's hug in that right knee with both hands. Lift your head and shoulders up off the mat. Move your forehead toward the knee. Left leg is straight on the mat. As you breathe deeply here, you can rotate that ankle 5 or 6 times in one direction. And you can rotate the ankle 5 or 6 times in the other direction. And you can also spread the toes, point the toes, crimp the toes. And if it works for you, the head and shoulders has to be off the mat, but you do whatever's most comfortable for you, because that's the last thing we want. We don't want you uncomfortable. When you're ready, you can release all that. Grab that right leg with the left hand, pull that right leg over to the left side of the mat, and find a nice spinal twist all the way over, maybe even keeping that left hand on top of the knee. Head turns to the right, arm moves out to the right. The breath comes in. So here's our first restorative pose coming up. It may not be the twist, although you could argue it could be, but we're going to do, in a moment, we're going to move into a cat pulling its tail. Make sure you're breathing as that diaphragm massages your liver, kidneys, and spleen. Now, when you're ready, keep that twist, right? That top leg stays in a twist. See if you can lift up or not. Bend that bottom leg, move that bottom foot towards your butt, and grab a hold of that bottom foot. And then lay back down into cat pulling its tail. Head still turns to the right, and the face is soft. Denise, I can get you a strap.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're perfect right where you are. That question was asked by Debbie. The microphone doesn't pick up for the camera, so I repeat. The question should be on our side. Yes, this is a compound where you have a twist and a little back bend going on, right? Opening up the body. And yes, you could stay in this pose for up to 5 minutes. We won't. Breath is still deep. So I was reading another book today about breathing. Eventually, this book says, after you practice deep breathing, subconsciously the body will eventually begin to pick it up. And then you are just automatically a deep breather 24/7. Give me a few more breaths. Good. And when you're ready, let's roll over on your back. Come up to your forearms. When you roll over on your back, bring your right ankle to the left knee. And then bend the left leg. This is our modified pigeon, right? Our hip opener. And then come up on your hands. Fingers pointing away. As you find that hip, awareness comes in as you find the opening of the hip. We're not done. This one is in as a yin pose. And then see if you can keep the awareness on the hip, moving the hands away enough so you can lay the head back. And the breath comes in. So now you have your pose. As you breathe, you can explore moving the neck a little, dropping the head a little more back. I was playing around with breathing into the heart as I inhale, trying to open the heart a little bit. As I inhale, trying to arch the back a little bit, making it into a compound move so we get more done. But again, you could stay here for quite some time. Right? The arms are straight so you're not strained. And as you exhale and relax, everything begins to relax. Give me a few more breaths. And you can release out. And go ahead and straighten the leg. Come back down. We're going to do one more in this sequence. Bring the legs back down. You're going to bring the left leg behind. And watch what I'm going to do. You're going to bring the right one way out. But my left leg that's behind, look what I'm doing. I'm trying to get it almost into a lying down splits. See what I've done with the left leg? And now as the right hand comes toward the right foot, open the right hand, maybe getting the pinky coming up. So that turns you. And you're just trying to lay down here. The left hand goes anywhere it's comfortable. So we've turned, we're laying the right arm on top of the right leg or just on the inside of it. And just let go. Just let go. So this is a rotated shoulder. Yin pose. And yin is spelled Y-I-N. Good. And as I mentioned, if you were here a few minutes late, 75% of this class is going to be these poses where we're just going to do nothing. So I think I call this the revolved. Revolving is the shoulder. The revolved deep runner's pose because your leg in the back is opened up. Good. That's fine, Judy Weber. So Judy Weber works for New York Life. It's a financial planner if anybody wants financial planning information. There's her what do they call that? Plug. There's her plug. We mentioned that on another class. She hasn't got any calls yet. No, but I'm talking, it went on YouTube all over the world. But she hasn't got any calls yet from it. So now you know how few people watch it. When you're ready, release out. Lay back on your back. Lay back on your back. Hug in your left knee with both hands. Lift your head and shoulders up off the mat. Move your forehead toward the knee. You can straighten the other right leg. Rotate that foot 4 or 5 times in each direction. Open and close the toes. Point the toes. Crimp the toes. Breath comes back in, of course, as we'll go through that whole sequence on the other side. Having fun, Sarah? Yes. You can release your head if you want to. We finished with that work. Grab that left leg with the right hand. Pull that left leg over to the right side of the mat to a nice spinal twist. Right? Take your left hand out like a wing and breathe here as you establish the twist. So yoga does not have to be distracting. If you're working at a yoga class and it's so athletic that you're distracted, how are you able to focus on the awareness of the body? And there are certain traditions that are like that. You can get in real good shape, but if you're distracted, I don't see how you're going to be in a relaxation response to allow the body to heal. If you're working hard and sweating, you can't. You can get in good shape, but you're not going to have that awareness. And that's not going to be the yoga I want to teach. When you're ready, see if you can find cat pulling its tail. Leave the twist where it is. Reach up, bend that bottom leg. Reach up and grab that foot with your left hand. That twist stays where it is. You'll bend that bottom foot back. There you go. And then turn your head to the left. And the breath comes in. Well, nicely done. This does have some challenges in it, this class. A little sprinkled of challenge, but nothing you guys won't be able to overcome. Give me a few more deep breaths. Well done. When you're ready, you can release that foot, lie back on your back. And now you can come up on your forearms and place your left ankle on the right knee, right? And if you get, and then bend that right leg, and then maybe bring the arms up. So come off your forearms now, and bring fingertips pointing away from you. Bring awareness to the hip first, before you do anything else. And feel the hip, right? Get into a position where you can feel the hip. Anybody not feel their hip? Okay. And then when you feel, as you'll notice though, as you walk the hands further behind you, you might lose that hip, right? You might lose that awareness, so you might have to continue adjusting. And when you get ready, walk the hands. Of course, you remember from last time, we're going to lay the head back. If you should happen to lose the awareness of the hip, you'll have to make other adjustments like bending your right leg, making sure you keep that awareness. And then head lays back and the restorative pose starts. The yin starts. And you're just trying here, as I was doing the last half, as I tried to relax on the exhale, in some ways it seemed like my hip opened up a little bit nicely than the regular modified pigeon as we pull with our hands. This way, this thing, you're not doing much of anything. Give me a few more breaths. When you're ready, you can begin to release out. You can just sit where you are. If you remember that last pose we did, the right leg now goes behind you. But remember, I made it long. We didn't bring it. I had a few people over the weekend coming here. We're trying to stretch it. And then as the left hand approaches the left foot with the hand open, maybe you can just turn the pinky up a little bit. That turns you. And then just lay down. You have a rotated, a little twist here, don't you? And put your right hand anywhere you want. Now, we used to do more work here with the right hand in the air and trying, but this is not that type of a pose. And just relax here. And after 3 to 5 breaths, you'll notice the body releases. It allows that, and you're able to relax into this rotated shoulder, the runner's seated pose. Give me a few more deep surrendering breaths. Whenever you're ready, you can release out. Roll to your back and hug in your knees. Hug in those knees. And then if you feel like your spine is bad, we haven't done as much, but you know, it may not seem like you've done much. Your body may say otherwise. Go ahead and just release. Do nothing. Take a break. Do absolutely nothing. As you're taking these last 10 breaths or so, you can be visualizing how you're going to maneuver your body to table pose. So whenever you're ready, you can begin that process. And point your head toward me. You'll have to move and rotate around. Let's just do our traditional table pose. No curling of the toes, and no rotating the hands or fingertips. And once you find table pose, let's do our traditional cat-cow. Exhale, round the back. Chin goes to the chest. Inhale, arch the back. Push the belly to the mat. Head looks straight ahead or up. Exhale, round the back, chin to chest, cat back. Inhale, arch the back. Push the belly to the mat. Head looks straight ahead, cow back. Good. Continue matching the breath with the movement in cat-cow. And this is a nice one, moving the whole of the spine. But you could start a sharper awareness. Are you dropping the chin to the chest, right? Are you really trying to round the back to the heavens? What does he mean by pushing the belly to the mat? Am I able to do that? Do I get a bigger arch when I push my belly to the mat? Do I want to bring my head looking straight ahead? Do I want to look up? So you're staying in the moment always. And am I breathing? Am I exhaling to round? Am I inhaling to arch? And I remember an instructor told me that sometimes she'll mix the breath up a little bit. We haven't done that yet, where you inhale as you arch, just to keep your awareness sharp, but yeah, we're fine. So we'll move into melting heart as a rest. Now, stay where you are and just take, you can stop what you're doing. So melting heart, you're trying not really to sit your heels back too far. You're just trying to, you're in table, you're trying to sit back just a little. And then you'll walk the hands, you don't touch the elbows to the mat. And once you get a good stretch, I want you to let the head go a little and push the heart toward the mat. Breath comes in as you're pushing the heart toward the mat. If you sit back too far to your heels, you're going to lose this. Now everybody's anatomy is different. So if the head has to touch, that's fine, but you're still good. Very nice. You're still pushing the heart. This is called melting heart, and this is another yin pose. This one's a little bit awkward to stay in it for a long time, but we'll stay in it for about 10 breaths or so, which is about a minute. And give me a few more breaths. So you know the time limit's been set. I'm finishing this. So let's push the heart down a little bit more for these last couple breaths. Melting heart. Well, very nice. And when you're ready, come back up to table pose. Step the right foot up to the hands. Didn't want to come out of that one, Judy? Now we're going into another yin pose, dragon. So get that foot up, way up. Now you're trying to, from here, if you can, if you're in dragon, you're trying to maybe turn to your left
and get the forearms down. Let the head go. And just breathe here in dragon.
If you're not able to get the forearms down, don't sweat it. But you're trying to relax and let the hip and groin open up. And if you can release the head, you get a little benefit to the 30 billion neurons of the brain and your pituitary gland of the brain, pineal gland and hypothalamus gland. So this is dragon. We've done more than this in this pose, but today's class is not designed to do, right? We've done Heavenly Warrior from here. We've done twisting. Some of you may even remember Crooked Tree, where we weaved our hand between the leg and dropped down, leg on the shoulder. Now, when you're ready, let's use Carol as our practitioner today. You're going to leave everything where it is, but come up, straighten the arms. She's just going to bring her right hand on the knee, and she's just going to turn the shoulder up and look up to the right. Nothing more than that. The hand just stays on the knee. Well, you got the left. Stay out. Stay there, Paul. You're fine. Keep the left. Just bring your left hand to the knee. And then turn. Just turn. Look up. And that's it. You're not trying to do anything special. You're not trying to go, like we say, go beyond perpendicular as you exhale, twist. No, you're just going to hang here looking up for a few more breaths. Isn't that knee bend?
Oh, you want it?
Well, we're in dragon, right? We're in a deep lunge.
Oh, okay.
We're still there, and you're looking up. Good. Give me a few more deep breaths. Well done. And when you're ready, you can step that right leg back and step the left leg forward to dragon. When you get the left leg, go ahead and take a moment and bring it up there to a nice deep lunge, right? That's dragon. And then maybe turning to your right a little bit. Let the exhale maybe get the forearms down. As you breathe here. I mean, again, it's not important. Yeah, he started on the left. Oh. If you can, yeah. You don't have to get the forearms down. Just try to relax, though. So based on the 9 times I'm going to teach this class before I start the second half of the week, I'll ask practitioners if they enjoyed parts of this Yin Yoga, which opens up the body, trying to get it to place where it prefers. I mean, I know we're not going to lunge in dragon, but as we open up the body, you're more relaxed, marvelous things happen. Give me a few more breaths. I mean, if you remember last time, you leave your feet, knees where they are, come up, and bring that left hand on top of the knee and just turn the shoulder. Breath comes in. And you just hang here for about a minute. So yeah, Holly's not here today. A few other regulars. We have a nice class. Do you guys remember one time we had the 3 others that came out? Well, we're fine. Give me about 2 more deep breaths. Just letting it go. When you're ready, find child's pose. Take a break. Okay, so we haven't been working that hard, so no more break for you. So peek your head up. In a minute, when I get you in the downward dog, I'm going to ask you to step the right foot up to the hands to lunge. And then you'll look between the legs. You'll notice that back heel is up. And you'll find from here, come up to crescent pose. So I haven't set the heel down, have I? And once you come up here, and then bring the arms into a nice expressive arms, and you'll hang out in crescent pose a while. When you're ready, let's push up to downward dog. Hang out in downward dog a few moments. Might as well enjoy the benefits of inversion as we stretch out the back of your legs. Breath comes back in. It's nice and deep. Remember now, you're going to take your time. Crescent isn't too challenging. I think rushing it makes it challenging. If you set the feet strong and firm, and you take your time, you should be able to find a nice, solid crescent pose. When you're ready, step your right foot all the way up to the hands. If you can't get it there, reach back and pull it up there. Show me your lunge. You've got one hand on either side. Look on between your legs. Make sure that heel is straight up in the back. And now, whenever you're ready, make your way up to crescent pose. Just breathing here. If you want, you can make the arms expressive by stretching them up. Fingers are wide. Get a little energy going upward to kind of help you lift. But I'd look straight ahead, Paul. Well done. When you're ready, bring both hands down on either side of that front foot and step that front foot back to downward dog. And we're not trying to set any records here at Joyful Hearts Yoga. We're not trying to be the greatest. We're just doing yoga for normal people, regular people. When you're ready, step your left foot up to the hands. If you can't get it there, reach back with the left hand, pull it on up. One hand on either side of the left foot. Look on between your legs, make sure that heel is nice and solid. When you're ready, show me your crescent pose. Come on up. Looking straight ahead. Once you have that balance, you can bring those expressive arms up, maybe spread the fingers. Just hanging out here in crescent pose. You guys can think back to when you did this the first time, and now you're having no difficulty at all. When you're ready, bring both hands down on either side of that front foot. Step the back foot to the front foot, forward fold. Take a moment or two with the fingertips by the toes as you take a break. We're going to stretch your spine a little bit though, so keep that in mind. Bend your knees and lift either heel up off the mat. See if you can get some fingertips under the heel. And set that heel back down. There it is, Paul. And then bring the fingertips under the other heel and breath comes in. So they do this in Bikram's 100-degree yoga. You don't have to bend the legs. But you're trying to stretch your spine. So you're pulling the head down or you're trying to straighten the legs. Give me a few more deep breaths. Let that head go. When you're ready, come up to standing. So, finger issues here. I didn't see anything. I was just pulling the shirt.
Thank you.
I pulled Danny's shirt. Danny was showing that much skin on her back, on her back. So I pulled her shirt. So Hanuman is our balance pose today. We've never done Hanuman in this room before. Hanuman is a monkey god of India. I need to get the handout on it. It's kind of, just one legend or something way back in the day, some Hindu or something from there. But Hanuman is a lot of fun. You'll probably need to maybe grab the mats here, help yourself. I think we're going to utilize the strips of wall. Jonathan, you're going to have to just shoot this wall here, unless you want to do the full blown. But see the strip of wall to Paul's left? See the strip of wall behind Debbie? There's a strip of wall here, that's 3. You can put one here, 4 and 5. And maybe slither someone in over there, 6. Okay? And then there's 9 of us, so some of you may want to wait. I'm not going to use the mat. So let's come over here a minute. Let's everybody come over so Jonathan can get a good shot. Right? What? Don't we want to? So Hanuman is, you're getting your leg up here, and you'll set the knee down. Excuse me? I haven't even finished. And then you're going to come up on this foot. And then you'll come up here. Now this is our balance pose. It's also an opener, and it's also a yin pose. Now, you're going to feel your quadricep. If you want to go to the compound movement Jonathan loves so much, you can maybe bring the fingertips. You can lay the head back and take about 10 breaths. Now, if you need more padding for the knee, then bring a mat with you. Okay? When you're ready, have fun. I'd hang out for 10 breaths or so. Yeah, you girls use that one. If you want, Jill, you can go slither in over here. Yeah. Jill wants to go right by the trash can. You got room. Go ahead. I'll come around and see how well your monkey god is doing. I'll start with Sarah. You must not have any knee issues, so you're fine. Remember, that left foot is coming here. There you go. Good. And just take your time coming up. It isn't that hard. It's going to be a good stretch for you, though. And breathe. Take your time. See if you can get the fingertips to the wall. Fingertips. And breathe. Good job. Yeah, let the head go. Soften the face. You getting both arms up today? And then you're feeling, right? You're Paul, Debbie, you're feeling the back bend. And just breathe into it for about 10 breaths. Excuse me? Excuse me? I wouldn't come up. You got to step that left foot up here. Left foot steps here. Denise, you didn't get it right.
I did. What do you mean?
What are you talking about? Where was your left foot?
It was up here.
Where was your right foot?
It was down. Damn. It's okay.
Ha-ha! Denise said the first damn word in
Okay,
in
but
yoga.
wait a minute. How was she?
What?
It was supposed
See?
to be up
Was
like
her foot up
this.
like that?
Okay, one more.
Mine can't be the other direction, but it's up there.
Let's see if you can get the fingertips to the wall. And lay the head back. Fingertips to the wall. Lay the head back.
Like that might give you more leverage.
Don't hurt her. Don't hurt her.
I'm helping her. Okay.
Lay the head back. So this is... Watch your head. Okay, yeah, I like it. Where's the foot? The foot's supposed to be up here. Set that foot first. Goodness gracious. All right, Judy Weber, let's see how well you... Did you do both sides, Denise?
I did.
Okay, Sarah, you can come off. 1 minute. You better do both sides. Come on up. So you can get your fingertips to the wall and lay the head back.
Oh, you are. You're doing
Now
it
breathe. You're supposed to be breathing.
Oh, that's right, breathe.
Relax into the pose. We're wrapping it up as soon as Judy Weber gets done with both sides.
I'm done.
What's going on over here?
We did both sides. We did both sides. We did handstands. We did everything.
Okay, you can make it back to your mat, but don't sit. You can make it back to your mat, but don't sit. Don't sit when you get back to your mat. Stand. So we still have about 12 minutes, a little bit more work to do. But while we're waiting, everybody can watch Judy Weber. Judy Weber works at New York Life. She's a financial planner. If anybody wants to get some financial planning in, you can contact. And her friend Denise Flynn owns Flynn Electric, Tucson, Arizona. Okay, so let's go back to our mats. But before that, what are your thoughts on Hanuman, monkey god?
It sucks.
Creel said it sucks. Anybody else?
No, I liked it, except this foot doesn't bend that much, so I couldn't do it.
Carol likes, except her right foot doesn't bend that much. Debbie?
I've been given that pose by a physical therapist too, to stretch out the quad. So
Okay.
you can do it with a pillow. Sometimes it's easier.
Denise says she's been given that pose by a physical therapist to stretch out the quad. Anybody else want to chime in since we have an interactive class?
How is that different than this?
Balance.
Well, you're on the knee, right?
Yeah, it's like
You're stretching the quad more. The wall's in the way, and it's much deeper. And I added the back then. I'm not sure. I'd have to look at the book whether it was in or not. But also that's part of the variety, right?
Yeah.
That I like to bring to yoga. Let's wrap up our standing, and then we'll do 3 of our last yin poses from the mat. Find your right foot or left foot in a warrior stance. Work your way into it. You got about 5 more seconds to get there where you want to go. Rotate shoulders toward that front leg and just find warrior 1. Similar to crescent pose. Now you know what expressive arms are. Your arms are straight up, maybe in line with the ears. The fingers, palms facing each other. The fingers expressive. Warrior 1. So we're just going to go through a flow here as we wind down our practice. Find warrior 2, fingertips out front. If your right leg's in front, your right fingertips are out front. Look to your other side, make sure both arms are in line with each other, and then look back, laser focus on the front fingertips. Well done. And take the opposite hand, so my right foot's in front, so I'm going to take my left hand to the mat. If your left foot's in front, take your right hand to the mat. And then bring the other arm straight up to the heavens. Follow with the eyes. And follow with the chin as you find modified side angle good. Looking up at the fingertips. Now again, we're not trying to go too far since we have kind of a yin class. Bring both hands down to the mat on either side of that front foot. Turn the heel up of the back foot. Just barely walk the back foot forward, little by little, until both legs are straight. Pyramid. Leave the head looking at the kneecap, and both legs are straight. Breathing here as you straighten both legs. If you need them. And when you're ready, see if you can step that back foot to the front, forward fold. And you don't have to be there much longer. Come up to standing. Right? We already stretched out the leg. We already had plenty of inversion. So we'll just come right up. When you're ready, find the other way as we wind down our practice. So you're finding warrior on the other foot. You're scooching the feet out. You're working your way. You're testing that left knee where you want to go. When you're ready, rotate shoulders toward that left or right foot. Boom. Warrior one. Holding here. Palms facing each other. The fingers expressive. And the breath is deep. Face is soft. Let's find warrior two now. Fingertips out front. Look the other way. Make sure both arms are in line with each other. And then laser focus back on the front fingertips. Warrior two. Remember, stay here another couple breaths. You're going to bring the opposite hand down to the mat. So if your left foot's in front, you'll bring your right hand to the mat. If your right foot's in front, bring your left hand to the mat. Whenever you're ready, go ahead. Side angle. Bring the other arm up to the heavens. And again, we've done more. I would be telling you really work at twisting, but we don't have to today. When you're ready, bring both hands down on the mat on either side of that front foot. Turn the back heel up in the back. Just barely walk that back foot forward little by little until both legs are straight. Pyramid. You're too far, Paul. Bring it back. You can straighten both legs just like that. And then hang out. Release the head and bring awareness to the back of that front leg. So Judy Weber, you brought the back leg too far front. It's pyramid, right? Your legs resemble a pyramid. Both legs are straight, and they're both equal distance. Last time, by the way, you had that heel. See if you can bring that back heel, in line with the front heel. No, so both feet are going to look like this.
Oh, okay.
It's more resembling a pyramid. Whenever you're ready, see if you can step both feet back to downward dog. Somehow, a couple of steps, right? You might have to take a couple of steps and then gently place the knees down to child's pose. Great job. Take a break and we'll finish up with a few more yin poses in these last 7 or 8 minutes. So we weren't working that hard. Give me a few more breaths, and we'll make our way up to seated. When you're ready, make your way up to seated. So we're going to do 3 more yin poses. We wind down our practice. You can let your body know that we are winding down. Come to easy pose with your legs. But we're going into square, right? And square, you're going to separate the feet from each other. If you notice what I've done, right? Not too far ahead because you're going to need to go forward. Adjust your sit bones forward. And when you're ready, drop the hands down in front of that front foot. We'll let the head go. Let the breath come in. I take about 3 or 4 breaths as the body releases. And then maybe gradually walk the fingers forward. You're going to notice after that first walk, the first walk forward, then you feel that hip come in. So in many ways, that's what this pose is. Right? We do a lot of splits, but the square pose is a hip opener. But there's a lot more going on, right? Other than Judy Weber's cramp. So Paul, you need to separate those feet. You've got them in the easy pose. Spread them away from each other. Let me show you what I mean. You'll be fine. Paul says he's very unflexible. Just right here. That's it. Now go forward. And then give it a couple breaths. Let the body release. And you'll see that that hip just starts. But you only have a few more breaths, but now you know what we're doing because we're moving off of this one. Give me a few more deep breaths. Did you go to Summit Hut and look at the barefoot shoes? Did you? When you're ready, release out. Switch feet. Same square pose. Feet are switched. Make sure the feet are separated from each other. Drop the hands in front. And you'll notice, just hang out for about 3 or 4 breaths. Don't try to get it all done right away. You'll notice after about 3 or 4 breaths, the body will release. Right? You need that first to relax into it. Then you may want to inch your way forward. So this is square pose. I'm sure we can do many different orientations from here, different movements of the spine. But in Yin Yoga, it's just a little different. And give me a few more deep, releasing, relaxing breaths. When you're ready, leave your feet where they are, but come back up to standing. Now, I don't care which leg you pick, but you're going to have one in front. The other leg, watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring it out in such a way that I can get this front leg, the lower front leg, in such a way so I can get my half butterfly, forearms down, head down, releasing down. So that back leg has to go such a place where you're able to go right in front. Good. Breath comes in. So Denise Flynn, I would move a little to your left, where you're right in front of this leg. If you can, you're going to be more here, where this first forearm would go here, and the other arm over. If you can, it's a hip opener, as you can feel. So I have been hearing of late 2 people just last week, and both are over the age of 60, and telling me about their hips were bothering them. The last thing we want is a hip replacement. And yoga will help divert that. But also I'd look into some barefoot shoes at the Summit Hut. 3 millimeters thick is a barefoot shoe, and going barefoot dramatically takes pressure off the knees and the hips. A lot of people have no idea what I'm talking about. When you're ready, let's find half butterfly on the other side. Soften the face. I saw that. So bend that other leg in front, and you're trying to drop straight down in front of that lower leg in front. Straight down in front. There you go. And you have to maneuver the back leg, the straight leg, in such a way to where it's going to allow you to do that. That's fine, Jill. Schwolst. Good. Everybody's looking good. So we're going to breathe and relax here. We'll finish our class with deer pose, which will be forthcoming. Give me a few more deep breaths. When you're ready, you can release out. So leave that front leg where it is. We'll let Sarah be our spotlight practitioner of the moment. She's just going to bend the back leg here and sit in double V, right? So now she's in double V. We've all been in this pose before. Now, she's just going to bring both hands. Her left leg is in front. So depending on what leg is in front, you have to go the opposite way. She's just going to bring both hands over here and just stay a moment as she breathes. Let the body release, right? Let the body release for about 3 breaths, and then she's going to drop all the way down to her forearms. She's maybe going to spread her forearms and place her forehead on top of her hands. Deer pose. Okay, everybody has it. Just let the body, though, let the breath open you up to allow you to get there. Good. Good. Last pose of the day. We'll do both sides. Very nice. So you'll notice here, it's doing more of the twist is going on. A lying twist. Just letting the weight of the body release that spine to a nice twist. And the breath is still deep. Stay with me. We've got about 2 minutes left of class. Keep that awareness sharp. Give me a few more deep breaths. See, so this is the only side you can lay down on. So you have to visualize as you come out, you're going to be switching your legs. Right? You're going to switch your legs. So come back up. That front leg now goes to the back leg comes to the front, right? Remember? Most of you have your right leg up front. You're going to go here. And when you're ready, find deer pose. Creo, you're going to need to go more to your right. If you're over that right thigh, it's dolphin dive. Good, that's fine. If you're on the side, it's deer. I think you can get a little more to your right, Carol. Creo, you didn't go anywhere. You didn't go anywhere to the right. This is the right. Come over here a little. There you go. So these are the last deep breaths today. We're still going to be here a few moments, though. Judy Weber, that's dolphin dive. Over here. Good. Good. So fantastic, awareful effort today, everyone, as you're taking these last few breaths. So we have been doing some forward folds, right? So there'll be a way for us to counter pose before we find the most important pose in all of yoga. But as you're breathing these last couple breaths, you can visualize how you're going to maneuver your body to your back so you can get geared up for the most important pose in all of yoga. So when you're ready, you can begin to make that happen. Our counter pose, since we've been doing a lot of forward folds, is arch pose. So let's start with that. Knees are bent, feet are on the mat. Inhale, lift your butt. Exhale, lower your butt. Inhale, lift your butt. Exhale, lower your butt. Bringing the spine back to equanimity. Do me 6 to 8 of those. As you're resting, you can tell your mind and body practice is over. And definitely, when you finish those 6 to 8 arch poses, definitely hug in your knees for a time, and you'll be the only judge of that. At least 4 to 5 breaths or longer. Whenever you're ready, then, find that all-important pose. As you slowly awaken to the brand new you, take all the time you need, stretch out any way that works best for your body. Eventually, carefully, mindfully make your way to a comfortable seated position. That class way too easy. That was Yin Yoga. What are you talking about? We just laid around all day, the whole class. Jeepers. Let's bring our hands together in the heart center. As always, thank you all for such a terrific effort sharing your practice. And good attentiveness too, right? Sharing your practice today with me and with each other. Today's closing is from Yogananda. Consciousness has a limitless span. I hope the rest of your day you find contentment. Namaste.